Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 1 of the new season, the 2020-2021 Premier League season. Now, if you are new around here, welcome, Croeso, as we say in Wales. This is how it goes down, as we've done in previous seasons. We predict the scores of every single Premier League match throughout the season. You get 3 points for a perfectly correct score, 1 point for a correct result, and 0 for anything else. We also run a fantasy football league. This is the official one run by the Premier League. So if you head over to fantasy.premierleague.com, register your team and go to the private league section and enter the code ynrbzb, then you can register for our private league. I think it's called something like Bluebird Legend FF League. As usual, I'm going to be leaving a template of the fixtures in the description. If you'd like to play along at home, all you need to do is copy and paste them into your comment. And what I'm going to do this season is a big task, but I'm going to try and record everybody's prediction. I'm going to put them in the league table, and you're going to see how we're going to see how it goes throughout the season. That may only last 1 or 2 weeks, but we'll see how it goes. But as usual, on a Friday evening, I'm going to pick somebody at random as well to represent you guys, the viewers, where you go head to head against myself and Nathan in a freeway competition. Last year I think it was myself who won it, you come second, Nathan, and the viewers, you guys, the legends, came in third. But that's enough of the housekeeping. Let's crack on, make some predictions for week 1 of the 2020-21 season.
Okay, so first up we have the 12:30 kickoff on BT Sport between Fulham and Arsenal. Now Fulham, coming up from the Championship once again, had a short stay in the Championship, of course, only spending 1 season there, even though things were a little bit dodgy at times, and they're coming up against an Arsenal team who, well, they've had a good start to the season, already won the Charity Shield, beating Liverpool, of course.
Or Community Shield, you can say.
Depends which one you call it. Quite a shocking result, that, but 2 poor defences coming up against each other, and in that case, with Arsenal and their much improved attack, even though they have brought in Gabriel, let's hope he isn't like the other one that Arsenal had at one point, but yeah, I fully expect Arsenal to win this one. Can't see Fulham bringing anything in this match, so I'm going to say 2-0 to Arsenal. Yeah,
I'm going to go exactly the same as you in this one, Nathan. I'm going to go for a 2-0 away victory. I think Aubameyang signing that contract, I'm sure he signed a contract, hasn't he, which keeps him at Arsenal. Massively influential for him. Probably their one and only world-class player, you could say, as well. Gabriel.
What is that?
No, I'm not world class. I wouldn't say. You know, he's a good goal scorer, but I wouldn't say he's in the world class bracket. As you say, Nathan, Gabriel coming in, that defence needs them. We know that Arteta, you know, he has improved that defence since the end of last season. I think, what was it, their record in those last 6 games, it was good. Well, it was okay. They did lose 2 matches, but they won 3 as well in those last 6 fixtures. Fully expect Arsenal to get off to a good start in the new season. I'm going for a 2-0 victory, as I've said, for Arsenal. Next up, we've got the first of the 3 o'clock kickoffs between Crystal Palace and Southampton. In the last, I think it's 7 fixtures between these 2 sides, Palace have only picked up 1 victory against the Saints. So, I think it's going to be a tight fixture. Of course, we know that Crystal Palace had a terrible running at the back end of last season. It's going to be interesting to see how Kyle Walker-Peters gets on at Southampton, and a new centre-back as well, Salisu. So, they've got a bit more sturdiness, you could say, in defence. So I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think that Southampton are going to run away with this one in a tight affair, 1-0.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight one as well. However, I can actually see Crystal Palace getting a goal, but their terrible run of form at the end of the season is going to continue, or at the end of last season is going to continue. I can fully expect Southampton to win this one. Danny Ings going to open his account for the season, more than likely, and I'm going to say 2-1. I think Eze might get his debut goal for Crystal Palace, of course, coming in from QPR.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how he gets on. Really exciting, excellent attacking in the Championship last year for QPR, weighed in with assists and goals, of course.
But anyway, next up we have West Ham versus Newcastle. Now Newcastle, what a day they've had today, bringing in both Callum Wilson and Ryan Fraser from Bournemouth, completely raiding the club there. Callum Wilson, basically, hopefully he'll guarantee you the goals as well, and already add to your really good attack, minus Joe Linton, of course. So you've actually got a proven striker now, which is nice to see. Pair him with Almiron and Sir Maximin. Oh, that's going to be tasty. Maybe put Almiron in the middle with Ryan Fraser on the left. That's going to be it. One of the most dangerous attacks in the Premier League. Can't wait to see it. But coming up against a West Ham team, always start off a season patchy. So I definitely think that's going to happen. Although I do think they're going to score. So I'm going to say 2-1 Newcastle.
Yeah, they did have a bit of an indifferent start, I think it was last season. In this one, David Moyes up against Steve Bruce. I think in their last, I think they've played each other 19 times, and Moyes has actually got the better of Bruce. I think Moyes has only lost 2 matches against Steve Bruce as a manager. So statistically, it points to West Ham victory. However, West Ham in a little bit of disarray, a little bit of upheaval at the club. Fans, players not happy with the board because of the Diagana if that's how you pronounce it.
Probably relegation rivals West Brom.
Going to West Brom. We know he was there last season. I think he signed on a 5-year deal as well. So Mark Noble not happy at all. Very outspoken this week. You said that Callum Wilson and Ryan Fraser both leaving the Cherries to go to Newcastle. Callum Wilson, of course, could have gone to Villa, but chose the Magpies over the Midlands club. So tight affair this one. It's going to be a very good game to watch, I feel, but I think West Ham are just going to edge this one 2-1. Next up, we got the evening kickoff on Saturday, live on Sky, between Liverpool champions, of course, against the Championship champions last season, Leeds United. Very tasty match. This is probably the game of the weekend. It's Klopp against Bielsa. So this one, really looking forward to this one. Liverpool over the last couple of seasons, points wise, absolutely phenomenal.
Ridiculous point tallies.
Question mark possibly with Liverpool this season. Do they need to bolster their squad? I think they brought in a left back to cover I think it's from Olympiacos, isn't he? To cover Robinson, although you've got the likes of Milner, who covers it to left back from time to time. For Leeds, they brought in Rodrigo to help out Bamford up front or on the wing
this season.
On the wing, and you've got Koch, as you said, Nathan, coming in from Freiburg, the Germany international in defence, of course, because Ben White has gone back to Brighton
after having a fantastic season last year.
Interesting one, this one, but I fully expect Liverpool to come out of the traps on this one. Interesting game, but I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to the home side.
Interesting. I think this one's going to be good one. Leeds, if you watch the Championship, of course, Leeds always like to start a season absolutely flying. They tend to go on a massive run and then drop off around Christmas, and then sort of bottle it as the year goes on, starting to lose games. However, they were just ridiculous at the end of last season.
Winning 6 of the last 6 fixtures in the league.
Very impressive, but I just think Liverpool will have too much for them. Liverpool are going to want to show Leeds this is the Premier League, this is what you've been missing out on for the last 16 years. So I reckon Leeds will score, they'll probably get one. And I reckon it'll be a 3-1 victory to the Reds.
So you think Leeds are actually going to penetrate a defence that includes like Robertson, Trent Alexander, and possibly the world's best defender at the moment in Virgil van Dijk?
They'll probably sneak one through, I imagine. I mean, it's Bielsa, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Interesting.
Anything can happen. But anyway, moving on. Next up, we have West Brom versus Leicester. West Brom finally signing a player after all this time, Diagana. However, will that fill that massive hole at the top of the pitch? Where are they going to get their goals from this season? That is the question. I mean, Charlie Austin, he's a bit past his prime, to be honest. And then you've got, they're trying to get rid of Kenneth Zahour, aren't they? Or in Hal Robson-Kanu, hasn't played, when was the last time he played in the Premier League? But anyway, coming up against the Leicester side, who have lost both of their right back and left back, of course. Chilwell has gone to Chelsea for 50 million, and Pereira, I believe, is injured, so they might have a few problems at the start of the season. However, Leicester have filled that void at right back, bringing in Timothy Castagne from Atalanta for about £21 million, so that might fill the void there and put cover for Matthias Pereira. But I really do fully expect Leicester to win this one. I mean, it surprised me if they don't really, so I'm going to say 2-0 to the Foxes.
Interesting. Well, usually this one, of course, Nathan, is on Sky at 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon as well. Now, usually, I would have said this match, you usually see one of the promoted teams, put out all the stops on the opening weekend of the season, and you normally get, a bit of a giant killing, you could say. And if the fans were in at the Hawthorns, then I would have probably gone for a victory in this first fixture.
Gone for a draw, to be fair.
Yeah, however, I am going to go for a draw in this one. I think it's going to end up all square at 1-1. I think the Baggies want to get off to a positive start. A lot of people are tipping West Brom, the bookies, and everybody, really, all YouTubers, tipping them to go straight back down. And
I haven't actually tipped anyone. Seen anyone tip them to stay up.
I've seen one, I think, or one or two. But most people are tipping them to go straight back down and finishing rock bottom. However, I think they will get, as I said, a bit of a positive result. I'm going to go for 1-1. Leicester, we know that they've got injuries at right back at the moment. They have bought in Castagna, I think that's how they pronounce it, for cover for Pereira, as you've already said. Exciting going forward, Leicester. They stumbled at the end of last season, of course, when they were pushing for a Champions League spot. They are in the Europa League
they're going to need that
coming season, so whether they got enough strength and depth for the rest of the season, not sure. But in this one, 1-1. Next up, we've got Spurs at home against Everton. This takes place at 4:30 on Sunday afternoon. We've got Mourinho up against Ancelotti. Mourinho's record against Everton is played 19, won 12, drawn 5, and lost just the 2 games. I don't think James Rodriguez has actually signed on the dotted line yet.
I don't think he'll be ready.
It's conflicting reports. I'm trying to find this on the internet. A lot of places or websites are saying that he has. However, on places like transfermarket.com at the time of writing that he hasn't actually signed, so I fully expect him to sign by the weekend. They have signed Alan, who's come in from Napoli. Spurs themselves have brought in Højbjerg and Doherty, which is a fantastic signing from Wolves. So I fully expect this one to have goals. I wouldn't really say that too much for a Mourinho side, starting off possibly tentatively at the start of the season. But I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory to the Whites in this one. I think Everton, bringing in new players, but I think Spurs are going to get off to a positive start this season. Both teams probably having a lot of players away on international duty. England play on Tuesday evening as well. So I'm going for a home win, 3-1 to Whites.
Spurs will probably get a goal in the early stages of the match, and then it's just going to be part of the bus football for both teams. Ancelotti, Mourinho, I can see them being defensive in case Everton start to attack, but I just can't see much action in this one. I'm going to say a narrow 1-0 to Spurs. Next up, we have Brighton versus Chelsea. Now, Chelsea, first game where they'll be able to try out their newly bought attack, likes of Havertz, Werner, I believe Ziyech has a knock, so he might not be playing. Chilwell's in there, Thiago Silva's there as well. Will reach James Starr over Aspilicueta. Lots of questions for that. Chelsea going to look good. Chelsea going to really make an impression, I reckon. Brighton might put up a fight with their new signings, Adam Lallana, Veltman. Some good signings there, but I just think Chelsea will have way too much for them. I think this is going to be 3-0 to the Blues.
I think Brighton's going to be a tough nut to crack this season, but it's going to be really exciting to see how this new forward line for Chelsea gel. As you say, Ziyech may be injured, but Havertz and Timo Werner, really looking forward to see how they get on this season. Pulisic on the left hand side, really excited to see them and how they perform. I think Chelsea will get off to a positive start, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 away victory. And of course, that one's on Monday evening on Sky at 8 o'clock. And the final fixture of the weekend, also on Monday evening at 8 o'clock, is Sheffield United against Wolves. Both teams having excellent Premier League campaigns last time out. Sheffield United, you got the former Bournemouth keeper Ramsdale coming in. Ampadu signed on Monday. Brilliant to see him back in the Premier League. He's still a Chelsea player, of course.
The amount of loans he's had is insane.
I know, it's ridiculous. Welsh international playing on the weekend, of course. For Wolves, you've got this 18-year-old wonder kid coming in from
Fabio Silva.
Porto
He's
for
going to be
36 million.
ridiculous in a few years. Worth
He's in there. I don't know whether he'll start or not. Probably not. Probably see him coming off the bench. And they've got a new left back as well. I think it's Martial. I think it is. But tough one to call, this one. So I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm just going to go for a 1-1 draw.
I think Wolves might edge it in the end. I think they'll bring Fabio Silva on and he's going to open his account for Wolves, probably the first of many. Let's just say that. If you play Football Manager, you know what I'm on about. Sheffield United might put up a fight. They have brought in some really good signings, covering for Dean Henderson, of course, bringing in Aaron Ramsdale. Dean Henderson, of course, going back to Man United because he was only on there on loan. But yeah, I think Wolves will sneak it in the last minute. I think it'll be 2-1.
So that concludes our predictions of week 1 of the new 2020-2021 Premier League season. As usual, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description. If you'd like to play at home, as I've already said, just leave your predictions in the comments section. Each and every week, I'm going to be selecting somebody at random to go head to head with myself and Nathan, and that person will get a shout out in the next video. Top scorer of the week will also get a shout out in the next video. What I'm going to try and do as well this season, I'm going to see if I can keep a record of everybody's results as well, and have a little league table. I'm going to see how well that goes, because there's going to be a lot of work for the both of us, perhaps keeping probably a massive spreadsheet on that. We'll see how it goes for the first week or two. We'll give it a go anyway, but we will do the head to head anyway each and every week. So before we go, Nathan, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Search my channel, link in the description below. The streams are back, of course. Another stream this weekend, Cardiff City versus Sheffield Wednesday. Be there.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock kickoff.
I believe it's 3 o'clock kickoff, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Nathan. Remember to leave your predictions as usual. Have a great week. Have a great weekend watching the first week of the Premier League season. But for now, we'll bid you farewell, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.